Europe is home to some of the world's best car makers of all time. The modern-day EV revolution is going at full speed, and Europeans benefit heavily from all the sustainable transportation solutions. This is due to the government policies like tax rebates and ongoing competition between EV brands. NIO has attained the safety approval to deliver cars in Europe. Lucid has been registered in Amsterdam successfully. Will these two thrive in Europe, or will the local competition not let them stand a chance? Welcome back to NewVehicleMedia, the channel that has all the latest Lucid motors and their stock. Enjoy our videos daily with a free subscription and like the video so YouTube can recommend similar videos to you. Comments are highly appreciated as we will feature the best ones in our upcoming videos. The EV competition is killing. New brands arise, but only some make it to compete with the legacy car makers. Europe is home to brands like Mercedes, BMW, and of Tesla's main EV competitor in the region, Volkswagen. Their ID line was the most sold EV in Europe in April this year. Looking at the full first 4 months of the year, the Tesla Model 3 is still comfortably holding on to its #1 position. Clearly, there's a long list of successful brands in Europe. How will NIO and Lucid touch ground, and what differentiation will they bring? In today's video, we will dive into what these brands plan to bring to Europe and compare them to the other brands. NIO in Europe. NIO released the news recently that it has attained the European Whole Vehicle Type Approval, the EWVTA, for the ES8. The ES8, which is also dubbed as the Smart Electric SUV, will begin its run in Europe from Norway. A dedicated team has already been set up by the EV maker and seller for the operations in Norway. NIO has released a video presenting the main members of the team and the product they will be bringing into Norway. The first EV to be sold in Europe is surprisingly the ES8. It is surprising, as the performance results of NIO show that its other models, the ES6 and EC6, are much better mass-market models. However, there is a huge geographic and demographic difference in the Chinese market as compared to the European market. It may turn out to be a better decision for NIO to choose the ES8 rather than the best sellers in a completely different regional market. NIO is not just simply shipping its cars to the European market, but also bringing with itself the complete package. NIO has set up several battery swapping stations across Europe as supporting infrastructure for its EVs that use the battery swap method of replenishing the battery pack. It includes other services such as quick battery swapping, remote charging vans, and valets for charging. All of these techniques have turned out to be very fruitful for NIO in China, and it has increased the market share of the EV maker quite substantially. A very interesting question arises here. Why hasn't NIO selected the North American market, consisting of Canada and the United States, and rather went to Europe? The biggest factor contributing to this is the fact that Europe has shown a very overall positive response to electric vehicles. There are several incentives given by the governments to buy EVs, as well as laws that plan to make internal combustion engine vehicles obsolete in the coming couple of years. People in Europe have also understood the added benefits that only an EV has and cannot be found in an ICE vehicle. On the other hand, there may be incentives to buy electric vehicles in Canada and the USA, but the public response and adaptation to electric vehicles are still not as good as compared to Europe. It seems to be a very strategic and viable option to go for Europe rather than North America. Lucid in Europe. Lucid Motors holds a very pivotal position in the EV industry of the USA, as it is an up-and-coming brand that has already received such hype without even releasing a single vehicle on the road. This success is not just limited to the United States, but a very optimistic response has been received from other markets as well. Europe is certainly one of them. In January 2020, Lucid Motors opened the booking of its vehicles for customers in select European countries. The response has been so overwhelming that the EV maker has registered itself in the Netherlands. According to the Dutch Chamber of Commerce, the registration has been done for 2 entities. One is Lucid Europe, and the other is its Dutch branch. The international business expansion company Zedra has overlooked this venture into Europe for Lucid Motors. However, Lucid is not the first American EV maker to venture into Europe. Tesla has already done that and done it quite successfully to some extent. There is still a lacking behind Tesla, as it failed to provide customer support to many parts of Europe where the older version of the Model 3 was sold, and lacked key components for the autopilot to work. Some parts of Europe got the component replacement very quickly, while others waited miserably. Another aspect is that Tesla is not a luxury EV maker. That approach is purely being taken by Lucid Motors. There is a huge market gap for an all-rounder luxury EV that has top-of-the-line features. The Lucid Air might just be the thing. It has the largest range that any EV has ever had, coupled with elegant but minimalistic luxury. Deliveries of the Lucid Air variants in Europe were first announced to be done in the later part of 2021, but got delayed to the first part of 2022. Lucid holds the strategy that is delayed in production is much better than delivering a product that is not up to the standards promised. Other European EV brands. Lucid and NIO are entering the European market, but there is also a lot of EV competition present there. It is in the form of legacy car makers going electric and new EV and battery makers arising. Well-known European legacy car makers such as Mercedes-Benz, Audi, BMW, and Porsche have come up with electric vehicles in their lineups. These are not just EVs, but true to the heritage of the companies that make them. The Mercedes-Benz EQS is being hailed as the best luxury EV yet, that is, until the Lucid Air Dream gets released on roads. Most of these legacy car makers have had problems in their EV drivetrains that resulted in recalls. The Audi e-tron GT and Porsche Taycan faced a similar power loss issue due to the 12-volt battery. Such incidents can badly affect the public trust and let outsiders like NIO and Lucid get the better of the European market. On the other hand, there is a lot of development going on in the development of battery technology, and many new EV makers have been just recently registered. The Chinese Contemporary Amperex Technology Co. Limited and South Korea's LG Energy Solution have been the dominant battery technology companies in the market, but now other companies from Germany, France, the UK, and Poland have been developing their battery technology to compete with Amperex and LG. In just as recent as the last week of June 2021, the first week of July 2021, there have been 5 new EV makers announced that have European origins. These are Leopard Link, Velka, Levistor, Electra, and Mardi. The field seems to be getting set for the use of European-made batteries in European-made electric vehicles. This will give Lucid and NIO a tough time. The wrap-up. The European expansion of Lucid Motors and NIO is underway at full speed. Lucid is at a different pace than NIO, as Lucid plans to start deliveries of its AirDream variants in early 2022. NIO plans not just to take its vehicles into the continent, but also to take with it the things that make it stand out among other EV makers. These include battery swap technology, remote battery charge vans, valet charging, and much more. NIO will be entering with the ES8 smart electric SUV, which may be a gamble, as the best sellers are the ES6 and EC6. Lucid Motors plans to fill the gap of luxury electric vehicles in which its only main competitor is the Mercedes-Benz EQS. NIO got its European division registered in Norway, while Lucid did it in 2 parts. One is Lucid Europe, while the other is the Dutch brand registered in the Netherlands. Both EV makers and sellers will face competition in Europe in the form of legacy car makers and new EV makers. Many European countries are also developing their battery technology that may get paired with the new European EVs. Things still seem very optimistic, as NIO has a desirable product with even more desirable services that revolve around it. Lucid, on the other hand, is bringing something that is unheard of in the EV world and has no match anywhere. Mr. Slicks commented that Lucid will outperform all competitors in every country. What are your thoughts on this? Is Lucid's luxurious feel and technology advantages enough to compete with the competition? What are your thoughts on them entering the European market? When will they start releasing cars in Europe? Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. It'll help us to understand our audience and allows YouTube to suggest similar videos to you. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.